So after a year and a week of a lot of work and a lot of delays at home, it was finally time to put Ravenswing back in the water.
Okay, they put us in the water. Okay, where do we go?
First up, it's the story of our last few days in Puerto Penasco, the shrimp capital of northern Mexico. Anton did some tourist stuff before we realized my dumb mistake of forgetting to get tourist visas, so we borrowed a car and went back to the border for those. When we got back, Anton did some custom car shopping, but then decided that the $1,500 brand new motorcycles at the grocery store were the better deal. Amazing what you get from China. And our last evening before launch, we went to the beach, but we watched this sailboat put themselves up on the sand at the harbor entrance because the tide was running out too fast. So at 11 p.m. I grabbed the Sharpies, ran to the cruiser's lounge, and signed the boat name on the wall, because if you don't, at Cabrales, apparently the boats get jinxed. So we got that covered, and finally we're ready to get launched.
Okay, this little number we call the skateboard around here. It's a little tiny travel lift product that they use to move boats in between the empty spots where the big wide travel lift can't fit a boat. They filled in the hole. You guys remember their big hole in the ground that let us do all the test fitting the dagger board? And they drive this with a little remote control. Here it is. That's how you drive this thing. Alright, we'll see how our guys take care of this. And of course, peanut gallery, because there's always a bunch of experts around. What do you want? You want one of those?
I think I'm gonna need one.
Typical
Anton. Stuff to
Anton.
move around with that.
Another man tool. We've been on this hole for a year. It's so good to be moving. Just see Jenna in there in the background. She's back for a little short stay while the family goes back north. And he's got a little bit of work on the bottom paint job. Okay, do not hit the two boats together. That looks so close from here. Looking good in the morning sun. So we're going out into the blacktop to be set down on cribbing and then picked up by the big travel lift for launch.
There goes Ravenswing. 1 year in the hard.
Hey! That's good. He's gonna put out fenders. Right? I'm just over the closest.
Check it out, not even watching. This thing's driving by itself. Okay, now he's turned back around. He's got a remote control on there. Yeah, so he's just turned his back on my boat. Too funny. This little travel lift is pretty spiffy. I hope this means they're going to launch us bow forward. So it is 8 o'clock in the morning, and we just read that this place, Puerto Penasco, has the second highest tidal differentials in the world. I'm not sure that's really true. I don't believe everything you read on the internet. But this is where we need to launch. It's 8 a.m. We'll film it again for you at 13:45, 1:45. Okay, now we've set her on cribbing, and they have just dropped the weight, or they lowered the whole travel lift. It's got, look back here, 4 hydraulic corners. See these big rams? So this whole blue structure just dropped down, and now the boat's sitting on the blocking. This little guy's going to go out of the way, and later on the travel lift will come in. Such a great little tool. We found a pack of feral children travel lift surfing. They're going to be 10 to 12 years old again, eh? Oh, much better than a roller coaster. Okay. Carlos, check it out. For just a little bit of string and 4 of these little guys, little donuts. We made a little plastic tongue on the motor tiller. We start a line here, this side, boom, boom, to the back of the cassette, turning, coming up to the, this is where as you step back here to lower the motor, you also cleat the steering in. And same thing on the other side. We have to come out here through the step swim ladder and back. And Anton's going to demonstrate function. So you turn the tiller to starboard and here comes the motor. Okay, and back. And we get, I think, plenty of prop directional change. We're going to test it out today. Okay, they put us in the water. Okay, where do we go? Set this down. Muchas gracias! Hey.
Okay.
Alright, so we have fenders out. We can go to that corner floor dock.
Alright.
Face towards the ocean. Dock on port. Yes, back in the water. Check this out. So that's Cabrales. See the travel lift way in the distance? We just came across the harbor. Shrimp boat fleet. Anton trying to remember how to tie bowlines. We're both a little verklempt. But here we are at Fonatour Dock. We're floating. We love our boat. Motor steering worked great getting out of that tight little spot. I'm going to bend on the mainsail, so hopefully we can go sailing tomorrow. We're ready to rock. Thank goodness. Just a little chill out afternoon here at the Fonatour, which is a federal dock for travelers in Puerto Penasco. It's just so good to have the boat floating again. Can't wait for a good night's sleep. Lullaby of the sea. Just checking out, this is a shrimp boat harbor. And then the Navy Coast Guard is here. And there's the entrance. You guys have seen the whole thing with that circle tour.
I've been talking recently with a fellow F-boat builder down in New Mexico, and it turns out Kurt is also the current owner of a Corsair 24 we knew back in Sausalito. They had towed to Penasco for a week of sailing, and they took Anton and I out for a day sail in the same boat I had crewed on in races in the bay 10 years ago. It was great to catch up.
Alright, Origami. Kurt and Tanya, loving their boat. We just went out, forgot to take video, but we had a glorious spinnaker run, Ross. Got the boat up to about 12 knots in a light breeze. They are taking good care of 24 Origami. They love their boat. Kurt's building an F-33 in the backyard. Fun evening. Okay, from the decks of Ravenswing on October 7th or so. It's Friday, might be the 8th. We are ready to leave Penasco. Our intrepid crew. We're gonna do it.
I think we're ready.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to it.
Let's go get 300 miles or so out on the Sea of Cortez. We're gonna head towards Puerto Escondido, Loreto. So we'll set the camera up for you guys and take off. Keep an eye out for Origami. They're out there kind of as a, I don't know what you call it, bon voyage, well-wishers. We'll go find them. Okay, our first few minutes out of Puerto Penasco. We've got 24 Origami right here. Last knew her in San Francisco Bay. She's got her screecher up. She's trying to pull us. We need to get a bigger sail up. Ah, it's good. It's good to be moving. We're just going to take it easy for a minute while we get our bearings. I think we're going to go about that way. I better go sheet in. It's 5 minutes before 5 on Friday evening, day 1 of this passage. We are 5.5 hours out of Puerto Penasco. That's where we left, Puerto Penasco, uppermost port in the Sea of Cortez. And we want to run all the way down the sea here. That's Lagarda. If you guys saw the video from a year ago where we were paddleboarding around the sea lion rookery, that's where that red triangle is. So we're kind of heading that direction right now, but we will probably go on down to the Midriff Islands. So we're motor sailing. The wind is really light, but we must have the current helping because we're doing over 7 knots over the ground. For anybody that doesn't remember, the engine, the main motor used to be down here where this dinghy storage mount is right now. And we built this box on the back of the boat. And in the process, we extended the swim step back there. So you see these little triangles of line, those are the motor steering. So as the tiller turns right now, it's actually slightly turning the engine. And that worked really well in the harbor this morning. This little string is on the autopilot. This is our manual release that comes back to the cockpit. So for any reason we need to quickly get rid of the autopilot and hand steer, we just tug this line. See this little black guy? That's all there is to that. All that stuff on the top of the rudder just holds the rudder down, so it doesn't want to work its way up. Those little strings. Evening on the Sea of Cortez. Anton's working on a little repair to the spinnaker snuffer. The fiberglass cone separated from the sleeve because somebody named me pulled too hard on it. So we didn't film the chute up for the first time because the wind was so light. It was only like 3 or 4 knots of breeze. And we filled the chute, but we were actually faster when we pulled this reacher in. Looks like he's got it fixed and I gotta go help him pack it. Okay, evening on the sea. 5 o'clock. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Time for margaritas, according to Buffett. Sunset on the sea. Although we're noticing the lack of wind, aren't we? Pretty glassy out there.
Beautiful glassy glass.
Oh, Eggleston, look at that. What do you think? We're not editing that out. Those are Jim's chemtrails. There's a plane up there. Yeah, it's our trusty motor doing its thing. Can you see the rudder? Yeah. Mains up. Rolled up the screecher, too much flapping. We love our blue roller reacher, such a versatile sail. They helped us out today. Takes the motoring from maybe 5 knots up to 7. Solar showers. We splurge, got a second one. So each crewman gets his own water ration. We've got 10 gallons of gas there, 7 gallons there, 6 in the cockpit. So carrying 23 gallons this time. A little emergency gallon or 2 in the locker up there. Looking at the Sonora coast over there, you can see mountains. And it's warm. But the boat's moving, so we'll be able to sleep. We're just talking about doing 4 on, 4 offs. I'm gonna take a nap now. Anton's gonna drive the boat till midnight, and I'll do midnight to 4. And he can have the dawn watch. We've seen no traffic in the 6 hours we've been out. These birds are right on the surface looking for bugs and fish. Hopefully tomorrow we'll get some wind. Gotta go inside and turn on predict wind. We've got the Iridium satellite system. We're gonna download the weather files, see what it says. It's Saturday afternoon. We're a day and a half into our trip from Puerto Penasco down towards Escondido. Don't know where we're gonna stop, but figure we'll keep moving. We're in the midrifts, the midsection of the Sea of Cortez. So Baja shoreline over there. And we've been running by islands today. That's San Lorenzo Island. Let's take a look at what we've just put in the sky. Oh man, sun coming through it. That is the asymmetric spinnaker, formerly known as Jan M. Now Ravenswing. She's just the right size for this boat. You guys can see the halyard up there topping out. The snuffer sock is all bunched up. You slide that thing down to help control the sail when it's time to put it away. And our tack line comes out at the end of our sprit pole. It's a nice rounded aluminum anodized donut on the end from Skateaway Design. And screw comes back to the cap shroud. That's where I like it. Could come back a little more, but this just seems like a great sail for us. We had a really good day on the Blue Reacher. I didn't film much because it was a really nasty sea state from about 8 a.m. till an hour ago. So much so we did not want to put the spinnaker up. Just really confused, multi-direction, really tossing the boat around. So we opted to stay with the more conservative Reacher. But still, we got up to 13 knots. I think I saw 14. But this is glory sailing right here. Holy cow. So we've been 175 miles from Penasco. We're thinking we want to do like a 300-mile run here over the course of 48 hours to get us down Santa Rosalia at least, fairly close to Loreto, and go explore the islands around there. We've got, let's see, a week and 2 days until we got to put the boat away and take a plane back to California. I'm not very good at the whole cruising thing. I keep going home, and we're definitely the commuter cruisers. It's probably blowing maybe 10, a little bit of the white caps out there, 10 to 12. We're wondering if we're going to get hit harder once we get past this island. Yeah, that sail looks good. Thanks again, Marvin and Lori, for selling this thing to us at the friend price. It's a super help. And you guys give me Takati. It's a good relationship. It's from zoomsales.com. Made somewhere across an ocean. This line here, whoops. This is how you hold that. It's a little hard to see. See, this goes up to the snuffer funnel up there. This will pull the snuffer down over the sail. Gotta get you guys some film. The boat moving faster. This is what slow cruising looks like for us. Oh, you guys remember all those jib hanks? Here they are on the jib. They work perfectly well so far. Get some ice water and cookies or something and chill out. Look for wildlife. Haven't seen much in the water yet. We're too far north. Hey guys, let's enjoy a little sundown on the Sea of Cortez. Things are mellowed out. We're under main and jib. See the telltale. Wind's coming pretty much down the sea. We had the spinnaker up, saw that. Great run. Wind died out around 4 o'clock. So it started motoring, and then it did pick back up. It's like 5 to 8 knots of wind, and I think there's a nice current running this down. Too lazy to go try to look it up. This is what cruising at 6 knots looks like. Bowsprit looks pretty good like that, huh? All orangey in the sunset. Huh, Mets colors. Blue and orange. Did that for my Uncle John and Jill. The mast is rotated. Trying to keep the spreader off the jib up there. Jib's not doing a whole lot right now, and too tired to put the big screecher back up. Gotta go make dinner. It's about 5:30. Baja coast, about 60 miles north of San Pedro Saldivia. Pull in there tomorrow morning. We're going to look for Daniel and Emma on sailing vessel Indy. You guys saw them back when we were working in the yard early this year. So they did some refit work on their boat. It's our own little hunt for Red October here. We know sort of where she is, but not exactly. I hope everybody gets a little Sea of Cortez magic at least once in their life. Come down and check this place out, folks.
Well, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel here on YouTube and come back next time and find out if we actually make it back to dry land. See ya.